Hi everybody, welcome to our channel. Since it's Sunday, we all know what day that is. Oh, game day! So I'm gonna do a green and yellow. I always prime my eyelids with my MAC Painterly paint pot. And then I'm just gonna go in with some neutral eyeshadows to start. I'm gonna go into my Melt Cosmetics Dark Matter stack. So the first one that I'm gonna use is the really light one, and it's called Blur. And just kind of put that all around. Use your brush and kind of spin it and swirl it as a way to blend it in. And I don't put a whole lot on, even when I kind of swirl it around and then tap it off a little bit. So this is such a light eyeshadow, you don't really see it a lot, which is why I'm kind of just slopping it all over, but it does help in the blending process of your other eyeshadows. It helps blend each shade into the next, and it really does show up. I mean, you can see that I have a little bit more of darker eyelids now. And then I'm just gonna stick in the same stack and go with the next one. I'm gonna use the same brush. Now I'm not gonna be as messy with this one. I don't wanna go as high up to my eyebrow as I did with the last color. This one's gonna go a little bit more below it so that you get that transition and that fade going on. I'm gonna start with the yellow first. So I'm using a Pigment by Geek, and it's called Liquid Gold. You wanna get some sort of a flat, smaller brush. I'm gonna use this one. So we have a 237 Detail Shader, and it's just got this little teeny end on it. Just start in the inner triangle. And I'm just kind of laying it on carefully at first, make sure that I like where it's going. The green that I'm going to use for the rest of the eyeshadow is from Milani, and it's called Bella Emerald. It looks like this. I think I got it at CVS or Kmart. Also has Milani. But it's a really pretty green, but I want it to be a little bit brighter. It doesn't usually come off quite that bright, so I'm going to put a black down first and then put that on top of it. The black that I'm going to use, I got this at Walmart, and it's Maybelline Color Tattoo. It's a cream eyeshadow. It blends pretty nicely. Putting this on the outside corner of my eyeball. Try not to go to like your crease, which is the, you can see where your eyelid creases. Try not to go too much higher than that with this. I like to stay just right under it. If you want to take the eyeshadow up past your crease to make kind of like a wing effect, you can do that, but we'll blend it later with eyeshadow. You don't want to put the cream product all the way up there, because then once you blend it out, then it's just going to kind of go ham. It's going to go haywire. Take just a clean blending brush. This is from Zoeva. Again, it's the 227 Luxe Soft Definer, and it's clean because I just washed my brushes. And just kind of blend the edge so that it's not super harsh and black. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the green and just cover up where you put the black. When I rub my brush into my eyeshadow and then I put it on my eye, see, I kind of just press it on. You don't want to just swipe it on because I want to deposit as much color as possible. So if you push it on, it's going to kind of stick to that black base that we put down first. Alright, so again, now that I kind of have that on there in the shape that I want, now we're going to start blending it out and working on the transition and the blend. I think I'm going to brighten up the yellow a little bit. So I have this palette here, and I'm going to use the yellow one, which is called Electro. And I'm going to go back into the little flat brush that I use with the gold pigment, and I'm going to put it right in the middle, or excuse me, right in the beginning inner part. I think this is a little bit brighter yellow where the other one is gold. I'm going to brighten that up with the yellow, and then I'm going to do the gold kind of in the middle of the eye, so it goes kind of like the lighter yellow, gold, green. And then I'm gonna go back to my green. It's a lot of going back and forth between colors to kind of build it up and get it where you want it. And kind of just work them together so that it fades nicely and blends, so you don't have like a line of yellow and then a line of green. Alright. That's actually blended out pretty nice. I am going to probably go into a little bit of black in the corner. I'm going to use my Sigma Shader Crease E47 brush. I'm going to do just the outer edge. Outer corner. Kind of a little V shape. I'm starting with just a little bit of product and building it up, because if I go too crazy, then you're not going to see any of the green. It's just going to get crazy black and I won't be able to blend it out. So I'm just kind of being careful, a little bit at a time. And this is where you can kind of bring it up a little bit above that crease. When you're blending the eyeshadow, remember we didn't want to do it with the cream, but we can do it with this. Alright, we're going to stop with the eyes for now. We're going to come back and finish them later, but I'm going to clean up the little bit of color that I got underneath and on the edges with just a makeup wipe. Just kind of going like that, making a line. Now I'm going to go to work on the face, so I'm going to use a primer for my face. This is Cover FX Mattifying For foundation, primer. I'm going to use the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Pro Matte. A little bit on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to use a foundation brush. This one is again from Sigma, and it's the F80 Flat Top Kabuki. And it's just a really dense flat brush. Sometimes I like to use a beauty blender. Sometimes I like to use the brush. I go back and forth between my favorite. And right now a brush is my favorite. So I kind of just dot it all over first. And then buff it in. It's just a little bit light for me. It's coming off really light in the viewfinder. Just a little bit of Toofaced I Was Born This Way Light Beige. Just going to do a pump on the back of my hand. Then I'm going to dab it with my finger. All the way around. Put in whatever. There we go. This is looking a lot better. Studio lights tell you the fucking truth about what your face looks like. I'll tell you that right now. Try not to make silly faces when I'm putting this on, but it's impossible. I go like this all the time. Okay, now that I have my foundation on, then I go in with concealer, and I use a liquid concealer. This one is Maybelline Fit Me Fair 15. And it's got a little wand. I just brush it underneath my eyes. And then I do my forehead, down my nose, above your lip and your Cupid's bow area. And then on my chinny chin chin. Color highlighting them brings them forward. And then when we contour the darker shades, that's making shadows. I learned that from YouTube. And then I use a damp beauty blender to blend it in. And you just kind of pounce it, bounce it, whatever you want to say, on your face to blend in the product. 10 years younger, I tell you what. Alright, so then after I do that, the very next thing that I do is I always set the cream that I put under my eyes, or else it'll crease and line right away, and then I'll look 10 years older. So I'm using a loose powder. Just put it into the lid. This is the Nye Cameo Powder, and then I use the same beauty blender and I just tap it into the lid. And see how it's on there? And then carefully press. And then the same thing, you just blend it in. Not powdering my whole face just yet. The next thing that I put on is my eyebrows. I don't have that much going on in the inner corners. They're really thin throughout here, so a lot of what you're going to see is me faking it till you make it. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the color dark brown. Start drawing them on. And then I go to the top. Try to just make an even line with the one I did on the bottom. I'm taking my arch higher than where it's actually not. Of course, I'm trying to do a good job, but there are times sometimes where I draw them on and they look great, and there's sometimes when I'm drawing them and they're so crooked and terrible it's not even funny. But that's the nice part about the last step, which is carving them out with concealer, is that you can erase any of those mistakes. Like, we'll see if I can get the other side to match up. That's the trick. And I'll definitely get to the point where I like both of them, but they still don't look the same. Like, oh, that's a good eyebrow. That's a good one too. But then you look at both of them and like, but they don't match each other at all. And sometimes I'll wear them that way because I'm proud of the way they both look. I'm going to go over my eyebrows with a powder, so I don't need to be solidly filling them in with this like a Sharpie marker. So I've got them mostly drawn on, and then I'm going to use the other side, the little spoolie side, and then just kind of brush through what I drew on. All right, so I've got them all drawn on, and then I use just a Q-tip, and I kind of smudge the inside. It's just a little triangle pointy brush. And then I use whatever color eyeshadow that matches my hair at the moment. So we're gonna use, I'm just using this is the Morphe 35O palette, and this is what it looks like. And I'm just gonna use this dark brown down here, and I'm gonna fill them in. You can buy eyebrow powder, and I do have some. It's a little bit lighter though. It's not necessary. I find that any eyeshadow will work. When I had purple hair, I used a purple eyeshadow. Again, lightly going through. Don't worry if you mess up on this either. We haven't done the carving out with the concealer yet, so we're still able to fix any goofy mistakes. Right now we're just filling in where the pencil was. The eyeshadow also kind of sets the pencil, for me anyway. Like I said, I have oily skin, so I can't just draw the pencil on and expect it to stay all day long. I set it with the eyeshadow. And that helps it stay all day long, for the most part. All right, then again, go back with my Q-tip, and then I kind of smudge the eyeshadow. They're not bad. I would not lie to you guys. Now, somebody keeping track, how long does it take me to do eyebrows? Jesus. And this is every day. Every fucking day. Now I use, what do I use? Zoeva Brow Line 322, and it's kind of the same shape. It's a little bit fatter and thicker, but real short bristles on the end. And then I use a cream foundation. I don't like to use liquid foundation or liquid concealer. For me, it's a little bit too just liquidy. I like the cream. It's heavier and it's easier to control and easier to work with. So put it on the brush. Now is where you want to make it as perfect as possible. So I start underneath, and you're just outlining, you're just sharpening that edge. And I went a little bit low on the tail, so I was just going to bring it up and erase it. Just like that. And this is also why I didn't put powder on my face yet. See, I'm going above. And again, just outlining it and making it perfect. And then I will also be blending this in here too with a brush. Let's do this side. Okay, so now that I have it carved out, but I've got a strong line of concealer, I use two brushes to blend it out with. One smaller for underneath and one bigger for on top. I use the smaller one underneath. This is just a brush by e.l.f. And then the bigger one on top just because it covers more area. out. And then I'll have a little bit on this brush still, so then I kind of just start in the middle and then I work it to the left and the right. And then again, just buff out very, very lightly those inner corners that we've been smudging all along with our Q-tip. All right, done. Now I'm going to powder my face. Okay, so the powder that I'm using today right now is the Fit Me Matte and Poreless 120 Classic Ivory. Looks like this. Now, one more eyebrow step and then I promise we're done. Then I go back. This is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper. It's a brow gel, a brow mascara, brow gel mascara. It says so right here on the box. And it has just a little teeny wand. And then I just very lightly go over the hairs that actually are there. And this just kind of glues them in place. I'm going to do a little bit of contouring. And I'm going to use my KatVonD Shade Light Contour Palette. This is what it looks like. This one broke, so I had to reshape it, so that's why it looks gross. But it still works. And then I use a Zoeva Luxe Face Paint Brush 109 in the lightest color. Tap it off. Right about where my hair points. It's about where the bottom of my cheekbone is. So that's where I'm going to contour. You can make this face if you want to. Don't have to. And then I also do above here, above my temples and into my hairline. Then I'm going to do just a little bit of bronzing, and I'm going to use the same palette, and then I'm just going to use this middle one here that's just about gone on a clean brush that's no longer clean, and just very lightly go over the areas where you contoured, just to warm it up and blend it out a little bit. Apples O the cheeks. Champagne Pop. And Sigma Tapered Highlighter F35. Swirl it, tap it, right here on the highest points of your cheeks, and then kind of bringing it down into the center. So highest points, and then bringing it down here. You see that? Oh, hopefully that's coming up pretty good. All right, so that's the face pretty much done. I'm gonna go back in and finish the eyeballs now. So I'm going to smoke out the bottom because it's a Sunday afternoon, so why not have a smoky eye? I wear a smoky eyeshadow if I want to, not because it's nighttime and I'm going on a date with my super awesome sexy husband. You wanna wear that shit to work on Tuesday? Wear it to work on Tuesday. Put this in the waterline. I'm gonna tight line, which means up above, which is underneath your upper eyelashes. This is called tight lining. All right, so tight lining, semi-complete. Doing my waterline. All right, so I'm doing my waterline. I'm also gonna line underneath my eyelashes. I'm gonna keep it real close to the line though, and I'm gonna smudge it out. Just gonna smudge out that liner. Smudged, right? Back into our green from before. Whirl it in that green and pop it on. Alright, and now I'm going to take a blending brush and then I'm just going to kind of blend the edges all around. And I go back into my black and I'm just going to very lightly line my top lash line. my mascara. I'm going to do the Urban Decay Perversion Bigger Blacker Batter. I need to put on some whips, as my niece Abby would say, and then we're going to be good to go. No! Forgot. Brow bone highlight. And again, I like to just lightly tap it there. And then I'm going to go in with the big fluffy brush that I used earlier and then blend it into the transition shade underneath. I'm going to go back into that same light color and I'm just going to highlight the inner corners of my eyes. I'm going to do a combination here. This is the 102 Beige Plume from Givenchy, and this is MAC Pet Me Please Frost, and this is from their aquatics something collection. You guys know what I'm talking about. Liner, nude pink, here it is. And I'm gonna go in with this lipstick first, and it's a little bit of a peachy, corally color. I'm gonna go into my L'Oreal Infallible Makeup Setting Spray. This just kind of helps all of the powders and everything that we've put on our face just kind of all blend together, so it doesn't look like it's sitting on top of our face, and it helps sit on top of our face, my face, your face, and it helps set your makeup. Setting spray. Ready? Ooh, go. Don't inhale it though. Okay, that is it for this game day Green Bay Packer inspired golden green smoky eye. Hope you guys liked it. I enjoyed creating it. I really like this. I'm actually going to go to town with my husband today because you can't let this go to waste just sitting around the house. So we're going to go in and maybe go to Menards, Home Depot, who knows. Pretty nice little Sunday. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I really had a lot of fun. If you like this, like the video, subscribe to our channel. We're brand new, we're just starting out, but we're having a lot of fun doing it. So thank you so much for the support, and we'll see you next time. Bye!
I have a fuzz on my eyelash and I can see it, but I can't see it. Do you know how that goes? I can see it. The fuck? I mean, we're sports fans, but we don't want to be those. We're not going for that look of the guy who's got half of his face one color and half the other. We're ladies, we're blending it out nicely. They always say eyebrows are sisters, not twins. Well, my sister and I look a lot more like my eyebrows do some days, that's for sure. Hello? Oh, it's the dog. I thought somebody was coming downstairs. Oh, this one's getting a little wonky. Eesh. Like, why you have purple eyebrows? I have purple hair. And you just do the face.